You want spaces between words in Thai? I give you spaces between words in Thai. Now, I know today's clip is a little ironic, as a couple of clips ago, well, the last clip that I did in English was titled "You Don't Need Spaces," meaning you don't need spaces between words in Thai. You actually do need spaces in Thai. Well, we don't call them spaces. We were talking about the difference between spacing and wak, which means grouping, which is what that bar does in Thai. And many learners of Thai have had a lot of trouble with the fact that we don't have spaces between actual words. My point of making the clip the other day was because of the nature of the Thai spelling system, the writing system, the letters and syllables in themselves delineate boundaries between words. So you don't really need spaces after a while because you just see the words as clear as day. But I get it that learners of Thai, you need to separate these words occasionally so you can at least learn those words. And even Thai kids books in Anuban, Tiem Anuban, these kindergarten and pre-kinder classes actually have spaces between words so they can get used to these syllables. So I read the comments, I heard you, and I built you a tool to automate the spacing between words in Thai. Let me show you. So if you come here to crackinglanguage.com. Now, in the past, I've had stewj.com, minecraft.me. Right now, I'm in a process of trying to aggregate everything together from all of these places, these tools, these brands, and put them together. So I've got Cracking Language now, and that might give you a hint of what my next project is. Not just Thai fundamentals, but we have a whole bunch of stuff coming, and part of it is designing tools to help people learn languages. And right now it's all totally free. I just am having a lot of fun building these tools up, and so I'll show you what I've done here. If you go to crackinglanguage.com, you'll notice that it's actually super fast. So like if you go to the tools home, you'll see these here. These are the ones that I have so far. This is my old compass. This is a new compass I'm working on. I can show you that at the end if you like. And this is my Thai word spaces. So if you click on that and you come in here, and it's pretty easy. All you have to do is make sure that you're on Thai keyboard. So I switched to my Thai and I'll say, "วันนี้ผมกำลังพิมพ์ภาษาไทยอยู่นะครับ." And you can see over here that the spaces are there. Now, I know that many people are screaming out, "Whoa, that's way too small. I can't see the text." I've done something for you here. Have a look at this. You can just slide the slider and increase your font size. And this way you can see each individual word and go through it and read it pretty clearly. Now, I know there are also some people out there that are saying, "Yeah, wouldn't it be good if we had bigger spaces between the words?" I got you covered. I put a slider here so you can increase the space size there. That's pretty cool. And I've put this copy text button here. So there are a number of different ways that you can copy the text. You can copy this entry here where it's all together. So that's okay. So you click that and it's copied to clipboard. You can also clip the spaced version. So if you want to copy it into a spreadsheet or Google Sheets or anything like that, you can say copy text, and that now has copied this big spaced version. Now, what I've done is put extra spaces. I haven't just used styling, so you can actually print that into a document and see the spaced text. Now, I've gone one step further for you down here because I'm thinking if I were learning this, I'd think, gee, I really want to turn this into a glossary or a vocabulary list of what I'm learning. And so if you scroll down here, I've also done a function for vocabulary, and you can order it by the occurrence. So วันนี้ผมกำลังพิมพ์ภาษาไทยอยู่นะครับ if you look at that here, วันนี้ผมกำลังพิมพ์ภาษาไทยอยู่นะครับ. You can see it's broken into Thai words. Now, it hasn't broken it into syllables. And this is one issue with the parsers. I tried a bunch of parsers that are wrapped up. I've done this in Node. And so some of them are better than others. And I ended up settling on one that breaks it into actual Thai words, even if they're multiple syllables. So you'll see this word here, วันนี้ today. You could have one and ni, but it's broken up วันนี้ because in Thai, วันนี้ is a word. It means today. And so you can list them like that. You can list them alphabetically. And so that's put them into Thai alphabetical order. you can turn the numbering off. The reason I did that is from experience. If you're wanting to cut and paste these into something like Google Sheets, you don't want the numbers there. And so I put a function here that you can just strip the numbers off, which is pretty cool. And the other thing that I did, now you'll see translation function under construction. There's an issue with translation functions. Now you use Google Translate possibly, or other translate functions. If you use it in Google's site, you don't need to pay for it. But if you use an API that's sending out to this and making calls and sending the translations back, that costs money. And I've been burnt in the past like that, putting functions in, and then I see my server bill. It's crazy with the whole world using these functions. So I'm looking for one where you could actually put an API key in and you could use your own payment API to render it on client. So while I'm fixing that functionality there, which will allow you to choose whatever translation engine, and actually I'm putting it in for multiple languages here, what I've done for the time being is what I actually think is maybe a better solution. And I've put a button in here. So if you have a look at this, so you'll see here, open source text in Google Translate, open space text in Google Translate, and here, open vocabulary list in Google Translate. So let's just open this spaced text in Google Translate. Bang! And there it is. วันนี้ผมกำลังพิมพ์ภาษาไทยอยู่นะครับ And so you get the best of both worlds. You don't have to use my API key. You get to do it for free, and it translates it for you, and you can actually put it in whatever language it is that you want here. So this is pretty cool. You can translate it. You can practice it with the space text. Now, if you wanted then to go back and practice with the non-space text, let me just close this up. Well, then you would click on this button here under the original text, and bang, you've got it there. And if you want to look at the vocabulary list by itself, you can click that and it will do the same. And so I've built this out. I'm just turning this back into English, but now I am typing, and you can see the spaces work in whatever language. I'm going to be wrapping parsers up for Chinese and maybe Japanese and other languages that you could have in there as well. So this isn't just going to be for Thai. You'll be able to use it for a bunch of other languages in the future, which brings me on to I'm not fully going into cracking language fundamentals yet, but you'll see there's space here for all of these tools. You can go to my current Indic consonant compass. This is going to change dramatically very soon. I'm in the process of redoing it all. So if you remember, this is my original compass, and you can see it's got like 12 languages. The UI is really dodgy, but it's really functional. And you click on a letter, it has it down there. You can swap between scripts, so you can see the difference between, say, the Devanagari and that, or you could say let's go to Khmer, and you've got them there. And so, and see, these are the series, and everything you would want to know about the script is in here. And you can actually use this. If you've read Cracking Thai Fundamentals or used the online program, no doubt you would have seen this. If you haven't, get a copy of Cracking Thai Fundamentals, and you can also come and subscribe for, I think it's like $9.99 a month, and you get all of my Thai resources. So you will get to use this, but this is old technology. I did it in Articulate Storyline many, many years ago, and it's really laggy. So it's worth the wait, but what I'm doing now is a new version. So this new version, you can see here right now, I've got Thai and Devanagari. It'll swap in there. I need to work on the layout. The cool thing with this one that I like is that, so here you've got the Thai, Devanagari, but I've also put a transpose function in here. So if you see here, you've got in the Thai, you've got the alphabet going this way. So Ga, Kha, Kha, going across this way in the normal Devanagari or Brahmic system. But you can also put it down here so you get the columns of the guttural, the columns of the palatal, which is useful for doing other things when you're learning as well. So there are going to be extra functions in this new version of the compass, which I'm pretty excited about. And then there's the Tengwa script. Now, if you know Lord of the Rings, the Elvish script, the Tengwa script is the script used for that, and Tolkien was a genius designing this, and so you can actually come in and use this. My wife is a Lord of the Rings fan. She loves it, and so I learnt the script, and I realized that it's actually built on the same system as Thai. Tolkien built it on this Sanskrit system, and so I use it as a teaching tool sometimes, but you can also use this if you want to type in my glyphs. If you've read the book, you can actually see my glyphs here. And so this is also a tool that you can use for learning Thai and learning about the mouth and articulation as well. I hope you enjoy these tools here. Don't forget the Thai word parser. Give it a try. It works on mobile as well. And one thing on mobile is really cool is if you do the speech to text, you can actually speak Thai straight into it, and then it will automatically parse the spaces between your words there, which will help you learn the vocabulary that you're already speaking. So do you need spaces between words in Thai? No. When you're first learning, maybe it's a helpful thing. So here you go. I built this for you so you could practice. If you want to support the work I do, well, the first thing you can do, you can click subscribe on YouTube. But you can come to J Academy and just enroll in the Ultimate Thai Bundle, and you'll get access to all of the Thai resources to learn Thai. So that will support. I've also set a Patreon group up that you'll see the link below for people who don't want to actually learn anything but want to support me. So you can do that there. And otherwise, you can come in, learn these tools, pass the word. I want to help you learn. Let me know of any other tools that you might think are useful, and I'll see what I can build for you. Right now, everything you see here is totally free on crackinglanguage.com, so you can play around with the tools. I don't know how that'll work in the future as the server loads come up, but while I'm experimenting, putting together, I just want to give it to everybody to use. Enjoy. I'm Stuart J. Raj. I'll see you on the other side.